Assalamu alaikum. The Mysterious Affair at Styles by Agatha Christie introduces the much beloved Belgian detective Hercule Poirot. The story is told by Arthur Hastings, who was recovering from a war injury. His old friend John Cavendish invited him to recuperate at his home in Essex called the Styles. John and his brother Lawrence lost their mother when they were very young. His father married Emily, who raised them like her own children. When his father passed a few years earlier, he left most of his wealth to Emily. She was now in her 70s and recently married Alfred Inglethorpe. John's family, who had met Hastings several years earlier, welcomed him warmly. He was introduced to John's wife Mary and a young woman, Cynthia Murdoch, who was Emily's ward. Evelyn Howard was Emily's assistant. Lawrence woke Hastings up in the middle of the night. Emily was suddenly very ill, but they couldn't get into her bedroom because the doors were locked from the inside. They had to break down the door. Emily had convulsions and passed away. Her doctor suspected foul play and asked for John's permission to do an autopsy to determine if she was poisoned. John agreed when Hastings suggested that they invite Poirot to have a look at the situation and decide if there was indeed foul play. He can be trusted to be discreet. Poirot examined the crime scene and talked to Emily's family and servants. She was indeed poisoned. The prime suspect was of course Alfred, who had the most to gain from her death. All clues pointed to him, but Poirot was skeptical because if he did plan on murdering his wife, he would have taken care to provide an alibi for himself. The overwhelming evidence made it seem like someone was trying to frame him. Her sons and daughter-in-law had motives. Evelyn had left the house a few days earlier after a row with Emily, so she could obviously be ruled out as a suspect. Or could she? Often the answer to a puzzle is the most obvious. I tried to guess who was the murderer based on the clues, but it was impossible. Perhaps you are cleverer than me? You can get this book using the links in the description. If you like listening to me babbling about books, please subscribe and turn on notification. Thank you.